Hi, Pepper Tree families. I am going to read a story today called Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. I wonder why his face looks so sad. We'll go ahead and read to find out. Just want to say miss everybody and hopefully you enjoy your evening story. Over the lake and out past the bay was a green grassy hill where the rocks came to play. They would race to the top to take in the view, then roll their way down the way rocks love to do. There was Kip, Pip, and Chester, and Marvin the Boulder. Ignatius played too, though he was much older. And a group called the Pebbles never ever sat still, zigzagging their way up and over the hill. I think these little pebbles remind me of you guys, and there's the adults staying still watching. Kai was a meteorite and not from this planet, and Maya was lava, but taken for granted. Stu was the smart one, Parker the clown, and grumpy old Ebert rolled around with a frown. Gabby was sassy. Leslie had flair. Emma was giggly, and Hud had black hair. And right here they're saying, Parker's asking, how do you make a tissue dance? Ebert, seriously? You put a little boogie in it, said Leslie. Get it? Boogie. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by them all was that every rock there was shaped like a ball. And because they were round, they could easily roll through the grass past the lake, up and over the knoll. I love looking at pictures. My kids know that. And look at little ladybug's eyes are dizzy because they're rolling down. Love the details. Except for poor Ricky, who quietly said, you see, Rick couldn't roll because one side was flat. What part of this is supposed to be fun? Said this grumpy old rock. His friends didn't get it. Come roll, they would chant. So Ricky tried, but replied, I'm sorry, I can't. Have you ever had a time when you couldn't do something and everybody else could? How did that make you feel? But the rocks were determined. They were sure they could solve Ricky's flat-sided problem and help them revolve. So Marvin the Boulder, with his impressive physique, carried Rick all the way to the hill's grassy peak. Then he pushed him downhill, yelling, keep rolling, kid. But Rick didn't roll. He just kind of slid. And he's saying, this feels like a bad idea. With his little friend, the ladybug, hanging on for dear life. Well, the rocks weren't done, not by a mile. Surely this next try would get Rick to smile. They stuck rubber balls all over Rick, using big gobs of glue to get them to stick. They were proud of themselves. This will work, they announced. But Ricky still couldn't roll. Now he just sort of bounced. And it's like boing, boing, boing. And he's like, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. Well, they pushed and they pulled, trying every which way to get Rick to roll. But by the end of the day, nothing had worked just like Rick expected. And he ended up feeling depressed and dejected. It's no use, Ricky sighed. There just isn't a way, so I'll sit off to the side and I'll watch you all play. But his friends wouldn't quit. We're here for you, brother. We'll get you to roll one way or another. So they pondered and thought, each straining his brain till they looked up and saw it was starting to rain. And that's when it hit that smart stone named Stu. Eureka, he shouted, I know just what to do. He explained to them how they would get Rick to tumble. My plan is pure genius. Stu wasn't too humble. So they carried our hero down the road about a mile to the lake where they gathered up mud they could pile. On the flat side of Rick, creating a mound that they shaped, smoothed, and sculpted until it was round. Then after the rain with the sun in the sky, they left him to bake till the mud was all dry. They gathered up vines and one colorful feather that they wrapped all around Rick to keep it together. Does anyone have a towel? Look at the ladybug. Still there. When the last knot was tied and the work was all done, the one step left was for Rick to have fun. They stood back and watched, feeling nervous and tense as Rick breathed in deep with increasing suspense. He moved slowly at first, testing out his new mold, and then, for the first time, oh, I wonder how he's going to feel. Ricky, the rock rolled. Well, this is a great time to have perseverance, isn't it? So Bria the ladybug, who'd been there from the start, felt a surge of pure joy swell up in her heart. She thought as she watched her friends play on the hill, but there's always a way if there's also a will. And she said to herself as Ricky rode down the slope, when you're surrounded by love, you always have hope. I know we're all stuck at home right now, but you need to know that you're surrounded with family and lots of love to keep each other company. So enjoy your time together and just know that I miss seeing your guys' smiling faces. Good night.